Hey guys, it's Pilot GBQM here. Yeah, so I decided to set myself a challenge today. We're currently under a severe weather warning for very strong winds, and I thought I'd give it a tent challenge. My tent is a Cabelas Alaskan Guide 8. I was actually very lucky. I live in Britain and I was able to get my hands on one of these. So far the tent has been solid as a rock. At the moment the gusts are around 40 to 50 mile an hour. You can probably hear it actually. I can't think of a more refreshing sound than hearing the wind hit against the trees. So will I survive, or will the tent survive during the night? That is the big question. I'll do updates as the night progresses, but at the moment we're doing okay. So, for everyone who has done a tent challenge over the past summer, I don't recommend you doing this unless you've actually got a tent that's designed to withstand this type of weather. But yeah, so we'll see how we get on. Catch you later, guys. Well, here we are again. It's just gone 9:30. Wind is seriously starting to pick up now. It sounds like a flipping jet engine taking off next door. And the tent is really starting to ricochet and shake about. We're not going to be out of this until about 11 to 11:30 tonight. So it'll be interesting to see how much more stronger this is going to get. But at the moment, it's still holding well. Touch wood. Yeah, as you can hear and see, it's getting crazy out here. But I'm still holding fast. There's no reason why this tent would fail. Unless of course I've guided it out wrong or I've not secured it properly. Every now and then that sound terrifies me, I'm not gonna lie. Because you just think, wow, is this going to be the gust that carries me off, or just uproots the tent and I'm just gone. But at the moment we're okay. So fingers crossed that will stay that way. I usually, obviously it's not safe to fly balloons today, but in my other spare time, my other hobby is flying hot air balloons, and I get to understand the weather with much clarity, because when we fly we have to be absolutely sure that the weather's safe to fly, and you have to have a reasonable understanding of how the weather works and what the wind's doing up at higher levels. Believe it or not, the wind can actually be going in different directions at different heights. The wind isn't always going in one certain direction, and sometimes at festivals we're able to do what we call a box flight, which is where we land back in the same field as we took off from. Very rare to have that in the UK, because our climate is just so interchangeable, much like this. But yeah, this comes as second nature, really, this camping lark, because when we're at balloon meets around the UK, we have to camp on the field to make sure that we're ready to get the weather to fly the next day. But obviously it's not safe to fly in this. And I wouldn't even dare pull onto a field if the weather's like this. My heart's absolutely pounding. I feel stupid, but you know, you've got to do it. It's on the bucket list. Obviously, you do it if you've got the know-how and the tent that's able to survive this type of weather. I mean, as I said before, this tent's from America, so it's going to be very, very difficult to get a replacement if this one does get torn apart by the wind. I'll see if I can just do a quick tour. Don't know if you can see, but my light on my iPod is not very good, but it's quite a big tent. Yeah, things are starting to fly around now in the garden. Don't know what that was. I've heard big things falling down about 100 meters that way. So yeah, this wind's definitely picking up. I would love to know what the gusts have been. I would imagine they've been something around 55 to 60 mile an hour. I'm just at the tent doing the talking for a bit. Just show you what I'm up against. I hope you can hear that roar, because it is terrifying. But yeah, I'll probably do another entry in about half an hour, when hopefully the winds will probably be at their peak, and they'll start to slowly slow down as the storm moves on further to the east. So hopefully catch in about half an hour. Right, so it's just gone 10 o'clock, and the wind is really kicking up now. The side's been pushed in on me a couple of times, and I wonder if it will do it for you now. Maybe not. It's hit and miss with these things, but still holding out really well despite that. Yeah, so tent challenge, people eat your heart out. There you go. Still pretty solid. It's impressive for a 8-person tent, you know. Usually 8-person tents don't hold out as well as this in 40 to 50 mile an hour, but this one is holding. It's just a shame that it's made in America, it's not made in Britain, but never mind. If you want a good family tent, I can't recommend this one enough for what the British summer weather can sometimes throw at us. Will they do it again? Probably not. But yeah, it's definitely, the wind is definitely starting to really pick up now. We've still got about another hour to go before it starts to dissipate and move off into the east. So as long as it continues, as long as the tent continues to fend it off, I should be okay. Yeah, but it's a bit nerve-wracking because it's like, am I going to last or is the tent going to last? I don't know which one's going to break. I don't know which one's going to quit first, me or the tent. I think I heard a pole. I don't know if it was a pole snap or something, but yeah, definitely getting much worse. But still, it's exciting. Believe it or not, I find this exciting. Just, you're not sure if you're going to make it through the night or what. And you have to experience nature to actually gain respect for it, in my opinion. And I've flown in some very challenging conditions. In fact, I've actually been involved in a little incident. I shall just call it that. I won't go into any more details than that. yeah. But it definitely taught me a lot of respect for the conditions that we fly in. This is starting to get interesting now, if I'm quite honest. It looks like that corner's starting to lift. Yes, it is. I'm gonna have to sort that out in a minute. Otherwise, the wind's gonna take advantage of that. Yeah. Things are gonna get quite interesting over the next hour, I think. It's nearly finished, so hopefully it will last out, and I'm going to go off now and I'm going to go and fix that corner over there because it's starting to lift up out of the ground. So, catch you later. So, here we are, guys. It's now midnight, and I think we're finally starting to see the last of the wind here. Although it's getting quite violent now, which is typical of a low pressure system. The end of it is always the worst bit, really, when you come out of it. But still, the tent's still standing. I don't think there's any damage. I'll look in the morning, obviously, but at the moment, yeah. Still all good, still fine, still here. Yeah. As I said, there's been a few times when I was like, wow, that's pushing it. But so you can't really falter this tent, and if anyone wants to know what tent it is a Cabelas Alaskan Guide 8. They're only available in America, but occasionally they appear on eBay, which is where this one came from, and I had it shipped over from America for a reasonable price. Originally they were about $700, which is what, 650 quid in English money, but it's definitely worth it. I mean, if you were to buy something from the North Face of this equivalency, you'd be looking at £2,000 at least. So there are cheaper alternatives, and they just work as good as the real thing. Morning, guys. So made it through the night. It's been quite gusty. Even when I thought it was going to die down, there were a few gusts that did get me by surprise. I'll give you a quick tour of the tent. So this is the Alaskan Cabelas Guide 8, and it's a brilliant family tent if you like to go off on winter camping. It's held up really well, as you can see. There's been no damage. Well, I don't know if the fly sheet's fine, but we'll find out in a minute. So yeah, let's go outside and see what the damage is like. Yeah, there's 2 doors as well. So you've got one on the fly sheet, one on the As you can hear, it's still quite very gusty, but here we are. Made it through the night. Not a bad tent. Ooh. But there is a couple of poles that have come out of their sockets, but the guide pins have held it down. So there you have it. The Alaskan Guide 8, an American made tent. Perfect for weather like this. Catch you later, guys.